Hey, welcome back. This is journal number 5 in the Chronicles of Wintress. So I had a bit of a rethink for this whole series, and I wanted to take like one character kind of from before Shadowlands even comes out, and kind of when I get a chance to do videos, gaming videos, I want to use that same character so we can kind of watch her progress through the expansion and things like that. But today I'm drinking these Sierra Nevada pale ales, and man, I've been wanting to drink these for a long time. Stone Cold Steve Austin mentioned them on his podcast years ago, and for whatever reason I'm just now today, Saturday, November 21st, getting my hands on them. But let's get to the video here. You guys aren't here to talk about beer. So the next zone was obviously High Mountain. I said I'm going counterclockwise. This is the first time I'm able to go through High Mountain as like a equally leveled character, and that's like, to me, the best thing about the Shadowlands expansion is the fact that it's letting players like me that came in way late in the game experience some of these expansions from like the perspective of somebody that was sort of new to the game at that time, right? Or playing through it for the first time. High Mountain's a prime example of that. It's based on Yosemite, Everest, the Himalayas and that whole zone, and it really has that like natural park feel to it. And it's just, I think that was the proper move for Blizzard to make when it comes to trying to attract new players into World of Warcraft.
Earth Mother, watch over you.
So the new level 40 big thing is now you're able to get your fast flying in, right? So they did away with like artisan flying. So the fact that you're able to go get your master riding, which is like your fast flying at level 40, which is fairly quick, right? Like if you were playing straight through and not taking many breaks, you could get this pretty quick. So man, that's another huge advantage in my opinion for what Shadowlands is bringing to the table. So while I was getting my master riding, I noticed I still had some loose ends from the Prince Farondis stuff from before I needed to tie up. And one of those was this Eye of Ashara, I think that's how you say it, Eye of Ashara dungeon that I needed to knock out. So the idea with this entire dungeon is you're trying to get the Tidestone. But this dungeon, even though it was like, I'm appropriately leveled for it, right? A lot of the bosses here have like these damage over time effects, and by a lot of the bosses I mean like all of the bosses and a few of the mobs. So I struggled through this, man, I'm not gonna lie. And I wasn't the only one, thankfully. There was other people in here that were struggling along with me, and it's those damage over time effects. Like they'll go from like, okay, they're kind of draining you a little bit to like boom, 50% of your health is gone, like that. I think this is only like my second dungeon with Wintress here, so I'm still kind of getting my feet underneath me for learning the mage system in Shadowlands, right? It's a little bit different. Yeah, here's another one. This guy here is another damage over time effect. At least with this guy, you're able to dodge them. You know what I mean? So it's not like this huge, AoE type DOT effect, which I hope that makes sense to people out there. At least this one you can kind of maneuver around. So it's more of a maneuverability and defense check here. And what I was reading on this dungeon, so this is obviously not the queen that you're going to fight as the end boss, but it's some kind of like, I don't know, channeler of her or mirror image of her or something like that. So they kind of got some of the same powers But I mean, the end boss really wasn't that hard, especially for me. I could throw on my slow fall, and yeah, it really wasn't that hard at all for me. But yeah, you get the Tidestone, and then you head back, and you know, you run across your old buddy here.
It has been ages since I have seen the Tidestone hole, but there it stands. I and my people owe you a debt of gratitude that we can never repay. Please, return to Azuna as soon as you can. There is much.
I've still got a lot to do in High Mountain, and I've got a lot to do in this zone and in Legion, and I got to get to level 50 before I even think about pursuing the Prince Farondis storyline any further. The Shadowlands pre-patch stuff is all going out, so I'm trying to hurry up and get to that. That's like my goal, right?
My winged children fill
That's not to say that there's not plenty of stuff in High Mountain to distract you. This, for example, here is like the Pilot Wings 64 World of Warcraft edition, and this is a lot harder than it looks, right? So like normally when you're flying, you can maneuver and control yourself, but this is more like, you know, Buzz Lightyear falling with style type stuff here, because you can really only glide. You can't raise or lower your altitude. Then there's a lot of these escort missions here, and this is I truly sped this up by 400%, and this is only a small bit of it. Like this, she moves so slow. So this is the gist of High Mountain, right? Like the storyline. You're trying to reclaim this hammer from him that can, like, I don't know, alter the course of history in High Mountain. But it was around this time, and actually a little bit in the dungeon, that I started noticing there was some glitches and problems with the game that I'd never experienced in my previous playings of World of Warcraft. So this has got to be doing with the new patch.
Earth Mother watch over you. Speak up. My ears are confused.
Yeah, sometimes you'll just click on stuff, it doesn't work. One of the things I noticed was I would get into a dungeon or an instance or a new zone or new area or whatever, and all of a sudden, like, I couldn't do anything, right? I could move, and like if I hit my blizzard, for example, when it comes to the mage, it would just cast over me. That was like a very sudden, violent, Dr. Disrespect way to do away with that character. Violence, speed, momentum, right? Like just killed him instantly. No words were saying, nothing. Just killed that character instantly.
Chieftain Wulong tried to stop him and was slain. Mela child.
I'm assuming that character was this character's father.
Destroyed.
My father will be avenged.
I will tell you the story of Hone High Mountain. For generations, the Tauren of this mountain fought. Countless lives.
So this brings up an interesting point, and I don't 100% know if World of Warcraft uses like the, you know, bogus, false narrator type situation, untrustworthy narrator. But it brings up the question, like, is this person telling you that the truth about Hone High Mountain, or is it like exaggerated? You know what I mean? Like legend and myth and all of that kind of stuff. Because man, he is extremely powerful when you go into these flashbacks. Like, I want to play as this character because like he's so powerful. So if it's an unreliable narrator, you know, it makes it interesting from a storytelling perspective, but it also kind of lays the groundwork that World of Warcraft will at times give you an unreliable narrator as like the truth. You know what I mean? It's kind of cool to think about anyway. I don't know if it's actually what's going on. That's the problem.
Even the Lord of the Forest, Cenarius, recognized Hone's greatness. He bestowed him with a blessing that we carry with us to this day, the Horns of Ekro.
I don't know what those horns do. There's a lot of stuff here that's like there's some gaps that are there, obviously, and I don't know if those gaps are filled in by other adventures, side quests, books. I have no idea. I just know what I'm playing. But I really enjoyed that scenario here where you're able to play as this guy because he's just a monster, man.
Last favor to ask of Hone. Defeat the Lord of the Nathrezim, Tychondrius. With his defeat, the attack on
This guy had no chance, man. Hone just fucking wrecks this guy. So I would love to show you the actual video here, but the screen went black and there was nothing going on. Again, this is all like super glitchy. For whatever reason, the stuff leading up to this and from here out, the game was like glitchy in certain parts.
We need to be out there searching for the hammer.
Mela, this is something your
So
father made me
the idea here is you're trying to provide security for these guys as they make their way up to, I don't know, this sacred ground or whatever the hell is going on.
For Hone, the war of the ancients did not end at the Well of Eternity.
So once you're in here, you have to hit these little devices or whatever that'll show you like
You're only
flashbacks.
strapped into that worm's hide. No weapon of mortal make can penetrate these metal plates. Then we must find weapons not made by mortals. Igrul, is there any tool or trinket that Deathwing kept from your people? Something he would not trust you to touch.
I love the different storytelling they used in this zone, as specifically in like these couple of quests here. But some of it is very aggravating. I guess it wouldn't be as aggravating if there wasn't the glitches and stuff like that, but still, you don't know if the narrator is reliable. And there's times where you're interacting with these things and you think you're seeing a flashback, but you can interact with those flashbacks, which is one thing. But then like in the real world, I know that sounds stupid talking about a game, but like when you're not in the flashbacks, let me put it that way, you can still fight things in there. So you go from fighting these things that are really there to fighting these things in the flashbacks, which I don't know, I felt was a little bit weird. It threw me out of the game for a minute. It would have been better to do one or the other, not both.
This is a secret passed from High Chieftain to High Chieftain since the day Hone banished Deathwing. Things are corrupted. We should destroy them now. There is more than one way to deal with corruption. The Guardians, they are awaking. Look, one survived. Such a small thing. And with little black horns, I shall call you Ebonhorn.
But this was actually surprising to me. I was actually shocked by this.
Allegiance of his family's oldest ally, me.
What? How? The whole time?
So I get that dragons in World of Warcraft operate a little bit differently than, you know, like whatever dragons work and anywhere else. I know they can like take different shapes and stuff, but I'd never seen one take like a Tauren shape before. So I, didn't see this coming at all. It was kind of cool. This whole section had really good storytelling, but it felt like it needed to be polished just a little bit more, I'm sure a lot of that has to do with the fact that there was glitches and other things going on, and the new expansion's coming out, so they're probably still working through bugs on that. I mean, and this game is so massive. So I mean, I give Blizzard a huge pass when it comes to glitches in World of Warcraft, as long as the game is still playable, right? But anyway, that's journal number 5. I hope you guys enjoyed it. The next one I should hit level 50 on. And then I'm going to go into the actual like pre-patch stuff and then get ready for Monday, man. We're like 48 hours away right now. Literally, it's 5 o'clock and the game comes out at 5 p.m. my time on Monday. So we're 48 hours away from entering the Shadowlands. Cool. Thanks for watching, guys. Take care.